All right, so today, in order to be successful, you need to have your notebook out. I'm passing out a bunch of prompts right now, so you don't need any of your old prompts. Actually, that's a complete lie. On your desk, you need to have your SAQ Packet 1. You need to have all of your components for Packet 2. I need all 4 essays out and ready to go. So, on your desk, because you didn't turn in SAQ 1, did you? No, we didn't. Okay, so on your desk, you should have all of your SAQ 1 and all of your SAQ 2, please. Okay, you also need your notebook and a sheet of paper. A sheet of paper is not notebook, and it's notebook space. It's a separate sheet. If you need paper, I have plenty on my shelf. So, in order to be successful for today, you need to have SAQ 1 and 2 on your desk, ready to go. You need to have a sheet of paper and your notebook, and you should have the new prompts I just passed out. Please listen very carefully to my instructions. Okay, SAQ Packet 1 should be stapled already, is that correct? Perfect. SAQ Packet 2, please listen. You are going to staple all of your essays, 1, 2, 3, 4, it makes logical sense to be in chronological order, and you're going to staple them with your prompts on top. So, there's a stapler. If you have a stapler on your desk, you need to make that your priority, staple it, and pass. Okay, so you are going to staple SAQ Packet 2. With your prompts on top. Emma. It should be rip it off of Packet 1 because that's already been graded, right? Yeah. So rip it off of Packet 1 and stick it in Packet 2. Guys, if it's labeled, I should be able to identify it, don't you think? If it's labeled, don't you think I'd be able to identify it? What?
No, all of our Packet 1s are graded.
Yeah. Why?
Because she graded the wrong one.
In my Dropbox box. What? Okay, you're going to have to put your stuff in your Packet 1 in my Dropbox box. Okay, so everyone should have stapled their Packet 2. You're going to please pass. Slav is going to collect your Packet 2. Daniel is collecting your Packet 1. So as soon as you staple it, please pass it to these gentlemen. Thank you. Quickly, as soon as you staple them, pass them over to these 2 gentlemen. Quickly.
You want me just to put them in
the Dropbox? Guys, there shouldn't be this much conversation. You have a big, long essay LEQ tonight. You're going to want my help.
No.
Packet 1.
Okay, so.
Are these all round 2?
Read them. Okay, please listen. Yesterday, if you were not here, you should have watched my video A, and you should have done it anyway. Okay, this is what we talked about yesterday during class, joining the AP classroom. I have all of these students who have not done it. Cade, Daniel, Claire, Lily, Segan, Ashlyn, Reagan, Joey, Emily, Slav, Emma. Hi. It needs to be done today. Today. If you don't know your login, go to Miss Mosley, right? Did she have it ready to go? Super easy. Took no time. It needs to be done today. Because if it's not done today, Wednesday, I'm going to have a list up here again. I'm going to be kind of pissed because if you don't have it done by Friday, you can't take the AP exam. Which you may not be that heartbroken about. But I don't want you to be like, oh man, I didn't know. I'm coming for you. So, this is the list. All of these people on this list have to get it done today. If you do not get it done, go see Miss Mosley. She has everything. It was super easy. Took no time. What? Yes, why didn't you watch my video yesterday, Ashlyn? Oh, cool. That's great. So you set yourself up for success. Awesome. Okay, so questions, concerns, comments. Everyone understands the expectation of getting these codes done, yes? So, Miss Mosley, do we all know where she's located? Main hallway, all the way in that far corner. In the very front, it's covered with college banners. Okay, you can't really miss it. She has all that information out there. Okay, so here, I'll take those out of your way. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you. Okay, so that needs to be done. Now, if you're planning on dropping, then you don't have to get it done. Does that make logical sense? Just tell me personally, and I'll pull you off the list. You don't have to hear from me again. Okay, what I need you to do is open up your notebook to where we started week 5 content. Open your notebook to where we started week 5 content. Under week 5, you should have your AP Modern essays, yes? You should already have your SAQ formats, correct? Now you're going to write your LEQ format. So everything on that board, you are going to write down. Let's go. You want to just take a picture of it to make it easier? I won't. Okay, so this is your LEQ format. Just a friendly reminder, your LEQ, you have one of them. AP thinks you're going to have 40 minutes to do it. That's delusional. Your DBQ is going to take up much longer time. Remember we talked about that on Thursday? Okay, so you're really only going to have probably 20-25 minutes to write it, which is perfectly fine. We can crush it in 20-25 minutes because we're going to really practice the LEQ. It is the difference between a 3 to a 4 and a 4 to a 5. So the LEQ is really a big backbone of this exam, and we're going to really hit it really hard over the course of the year. So the LEQ is a thesis-based essay. Who can raise their hand and tell me what a thesis is? Come on. We have no idea. You've never heard the word thesis before. Your English teachers are dying right now. Joey. Yeah, and outlines your argument, correct? If I'm going to say chocolate ice cream is the greatest ice cream in the history of the world because of its taste, its flavor profile, and its multiple variations. Okay? Already you're like, damn, that's a pretty good argument for chocolate. And I'm like, yeah, buddy. Okay? That's what a thesis is. I am outlining my argument. And this is what I'm going to argue so you know what to expect. Now, the other part that makes the LEQ definitely different from your short answer questions is something called contextualization. Contextualization is in your thesis paragraph. You're going to want to make a note of this, people. Contextualization is explaining what is happening in the world during that specific time period. Contextualization is explaining what is happening in the world during that specific time period. Okay? So, if I am talking about contextualization in 2019 in the United States, who can give me some background knowledge on 2019 in the United States? Who can raise their hand and give me an example of contextualization in the United States in 2019? Cool. You have an essay to write tonight, whether you help me or not. So, you can help me or not. Who can tell me something that's happening? Maggie? Donald J. Trump is the president, the 45th president of the United States. That is a perfect answer. Is that happening in 2019? Is it happening in the United States? Yes. Contextualization. Who can give me another example? Katie? 2020 election is already in full force, for God's sakes. I don't know if that's a blessing or a curse, but here we are. Okay? That is something happening. What do you got, Evelyn? Hurricane Dorian has really messed up all of the East Coast of the United States. That is contextualization. Give me another example. Give me a, we got in a couple economic. Why don't we do some social contextualizations? Give me a social contextualization that is occurring in 2019 in the United States. Jamin?
It's very divided between Democrats.
That's more political because they're political parties. We're going to go through your pieces, and if you can't help me, you're going to be writing your LEQ by yourself tonight. Perfectly fine with that. Absolutely content. What is a social? I already talked to Katie. What is something socially happening in the United States in 2019, people? It is not that hard. What do you got, Emma? People are fighting for women's rights all over the country. That scores. Okay. What do we got from our economic? 2019, United States. What do you got, Evan? Amazon. Jeff Bezos is the wealthiest man in the world, and he lives in the United States. That scores. What do we got for interactions between environment? I already talked to Evan. I already talked to Shannon. Cade. Plastic in the ocean is drowning our sea life. Hell yeah. What do we got for technology? Slav.
Artificial intelligence.
You can't just say artificial intelligence, Slav. That's not an answer.
Development of artificial intelligence.
Okay. You can't just say development of technological. You got to give me more. I already talked to Emma. Come on. What do we got, Ashlyn? That's the same problem I had with Slav. You can't just throw out iPhones. You have to put it in context, people. What do you got?
We have like Face ID technology.
The United States implements Face ID technology. Do you see how that's a different answer from saying iPhones? Yeah. Okay, so when we're talking about contextualization, we're talking about that specific time period. What is occurring in the world at that time period? It's supposed to show that you understand the global picture of what is occurring. So if I say Persians, okay, if I say early ancient civilization, so everything I've taught you falls under this, okay? Who can give me a cultural component? Can be anything. Reagan. Tolerance of religions? Cool. You've given me no frame of context, so the answer is wrong. Ahmed, do you see the difference between your answers? Okay? Give me a political. Political. What do you got, Joey? Hi, I don't want to hear another Ahmed, because when we talk about contextualization, it can be anywhere. Guys, this is not that hard, and you're going to have a lot of time tonight to write. What do we got, Katie? There you go. The Qin Dynasty used legalism. Guys, if you need to open your notebook to find legalism, then what the hell have we been doing? Right? How many times have we talked about legalism? 10,000 times? Cool. Okay. Social. What do we got for social? What do we got, Lily? Every bomb answer. There you go. Contextualization is you have to look at the world that they're providing and explain specific components about that specific time. Is everyone clear on that? Okay. Have you ever seen Have you ever seen The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air? Have you ever watched the show? Okay. So at the very beginning of the episode, every episode, they play the theme song. Correct? Okay? That theme song tells you about how your boy Will Smith got kicked out of, at the moment I can't think of where he's originally from in the stupid show. West Philadelphia, born and raised, okay? So, he gets kicked out of West Philadelphia, then he gets sent to Bel-Air, okay? And it tells you of his journey of how he became the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. That is contextualization. It tells you a quick backstory about what is happening during this time, and the episode is the essay. That's contextualization. It summarizes what is happening, and so the essay can layer that information on top. That is the point. Okay. So you should have your prompts that you're going to hand it out today in front of you. When we talk about LEQs, there are 4 different types of LEQs. On your exam on May 16th, you will have 3 options.
They're all 3 different essays from 3 different time periods. One of them is a cause and effect. Okay, cause and effect is literally this happened and this is what it occurred. Compare, contrast, where it asks you to look at 2 civilizations and compare them. What is similar, what is different, very basic. A CCOT is, I believe, the hardest. A CCOT is continuity and changes over time. You have to identify what part of a region has stayed the same and what has changed about a civilization. It is very hard. It takes a ton of content knowledge, and it is a skill that we will practice over and over again because you're definitely going to see a CCOT. Then we have a periodization. Periodization is when you look at the major turning points of civilizations and see how it has changed the world in a bigger, broader picture. So the fall of Rome, I think we can all agree, has had a worldwide impact. Can we agree? That is a turning point of civilization. World War II is a turning point of civilization. It led to the official decline of Britain and Germany and the rise of what country? The United States, people. Okay, become a world superpower, the world's first superpower. Okay, so when we're looking at periodization, we're looking at big pictures. So there's 4 types of essays for the LEQ, and it is something we will practice very, very heavily. Okay, so we are going to be writing a compare-contrast because it is the simplest and the basic format. When we do a compare-contrast, okay, it's going to have a little bit of a different formatting than a cause and effect. Does that make sense? It's going to have a little bit different of a formatting than a CCOT. It's going to have a little bit of a different format than periodization. So as we go, we'll have to clarify our writing formatting. However, the LEQ format that we wrote on our wall today is the basic format. And if you're following that, at least you'll score a majority of points, but we'll clarify that as we go. So our essay prompt today is compare and contrast the scientific and technical contributions of 2 of the following regions between 600 BCE to 600 CE. I'm just going to write Med C on this side just so we have all 3 options. So we are looking at the scientific and technical contributions. So what part of our SPICE theme is it, people? Technology. Ladies and gentlemen, hopefully this week you have seen how important your pieces are this week. Can we agree? Okay, they are your essay. So we're looking at technology. So we need to pick 2 of these regions and then we need to compare and contrast. Immediately, we need to figure out which ones we have the most evidence for. You can't pick the one you like the best if you don't have the evidence. So, which ones are we choosing here, people? Sophia, you like China? Okay, I'll take China. All right, who do you think, what should be our second one? India or Mediterranean Sea? Guys, you're going to Mediterranean Sea? I think that would be an easier one. Okay, so now we have to do our planning. On an empty sheet, you need to have planning. So when you're doing compare contrast, you need to have China on one side. China, then you need to have Med C. Okay, we're looking at technology. We're looking at technology, so that's our header. And then at the bottom, we will have similarities. Okay, so who can give me technology? I need science or tech. Okay, so who can give me some science that is happening in China alone, in the Mediterranean Sea alone, or in similarities? Now, when they're giving you regions, what qualifies in China? Who can tell me what dynasties qualify in China? Maggie? The Qing, we haven't talked about Qing in there in past 600s, so no. Qin?
That's what she said.
Oh, is it, you said Qing? You said Qing. Qing is a dynasty. Yeah, Qin, yes. You need to understand there's a Qin and a Qing. So when you say Qing, it's wrong because the Qing dynasty are coming up way later, and they're the ones who fall to the British. So you got to be clear on your words because it counts. Who are my dynasties, people? You guys are writing this all alone tonight. Sam. There you go. Those are all your dynasties. That all qualifies in China. Who are in my Mediterranean Sea Basin, people? Who are in my Mediterranean? Who can raise your hand and tell me who's in my Mediterranean Sea Basin? What do we got? Brian. Romans, Greeks are the only ones in there. Okay? Because it's at 600. And that's, there's no, you can do Persians. Persians score as well. You cannot do your truly ancient ones, your Mesopotamia or Egypt and anything of that. Okay, here we go. Who can give me some technology? Don't you dare tell me farming, because that's not in 600 BCE to 600 CE. What do we got? Kate? So Kate, how is any of that helpful, if you're going to list them off like that? Don't you think you should probably pick one and think that's the best answer and probably go with it? Han invented silk. Okay, now compare and contrast scientific and technical contribution. So, how helpful is the Han invention of silk? Is that helpful or not helpful? Scientific or technical? Doesn't answer the prompt. If it was an economic one, would it work?
Yes.
Is it an economic one? No, so it doesn't work. Sophia,
Iron allowed them to hatch.
who's inventing iron?
The Han.
The Han do not invent iron. So no. Hi, open your damn notebooks, people. You don't need a personal invitation. You are finishing this essay tonight. What do you got, Emma? Shang invented bronze. There we go. Shang invented bronze. Okay, why do we care about this, Emma? Okay, makes them, it doesn't help their military, it makes them a what, Emma? No, guys, who, come on, Lily.
The first military power.
Makes the first military, do you see the difference between helping their military and becoming a military power? That makes the first military power. What else can we say about it? What do you got?
Would the Qin making the Great Wall of China be a technological?
I mean, what are you really going to say about it? Right? Okay. Guys, you only need, it's always a rule of 3. You need 3 things that in your essay. Okay? It's always a rule of 3. So if we got one for China, guess what we're done? China. Okay? However, we need more information. So the Shang invented bronze, makes the first military power. What else can we say about it? Let's brainstorm. You need 2 pieces of evidence for every single paragraph. So that's 1 piece of evidence. Cool. What else we got? Shannon? No, bronze is not really known for its farming. Oh, God, people. Sam? They did not trade. That's fake news, friend. What? Yes, it's a state secret. Guys, is anything up here we haven't discussed? No. You need to take what you know about something and actually implement it. Yes? You don't need to come up with these crazy ideas. Take what you know and force it to work. It's a state secret. Okay? It's not spread. Till when, Sam? Till what? Till Zhao. Okay? We know these things about bronze. We're going to write them down so we can use them. Mediterranean Sea. What is a piece of science or technology that's being invented in the Mediterranean basin? Joey.
Romans invented aqueducts.
How much information do you know about aqueducts, Joey? So I would say that's not a very good example if you're going to come up with 2 pieces of evidence. I already talked to Emma. Come on, people. Open up your damn notes. Flip through. You can do anything. You can do Greek, Roman, Persian. Huh? No, that would be a terrible example. How is that technology or science? What do you got?
The Persians invented wood.
Yeah, Persians invented roads. Okay, so what's our two pieces of evidence going to be? Sophia.
Travel the military.
So facilitates faster military.
And trade.
There you go. Okay, what else do we need though? So that's like an explanation of what it is. That's fine. Okay, but we need two pieces of evidence. Come on, people. We know things about the road. Come on. Pull out what you know and use it. What do you got, Lily? Royal Road is the name. There you go. Royal Road is what it's called. Okay, what else about our roadway? Sterling. It had a courier service, the world's first courier service. Absolutely. Okay. All right. What are some things that are similar between China and the Mediterranean Sea that they're both going to do? Here, actually, because I know we're running out of time, you're going to have to do that on your own. Here we go. So, I'm going to start my essay. Okay? You are going to, your similarities is going to be standardization. You need to come up with, explain what that is and tell me what it is. Okay, so let's look at my formatting over here. So the first thing I need to do is restate the prompt. So let me look at the prompt. Compare and contrast the scientific and technical contributions of two of the following regions, 600 BCE to 600 CE. Both China and the Mediterranean Sea Basin provided scientific and technical contributions. Both China and the Mediterranean Sea Basin provide scientific and technical contributions to their regions and outwards between 600 BCE to 600 CE, like the creation of bronze, the invention of roads, of road systems, and the standardization of weights and currencies. There you go. So, I've literally restated the prompt. Both China and the Mediterranean Sea Basin provide scientific and technical contributions to their regions and outwards between 600 BC to 600 CE. Literally just copy the prompt. Everyone's clear on that. Then I've introduced my thesis. I have 3 things that I've brainstormed. That's my thesis. Like the creation of bronze, that's 1. Invention of road systems, that's 2. And standardization is 3. Does everyone understand what we've just done in one sentence? Everyone's clear on how this works, okay? Now what do I have to do? Who can tell me what contextualization is? What do we got?
Explaining what's like happening in the world.
There you go. So who can tell me what is happening in the world at this time? Now, this prompt is about science and technology. So should we reference science and technology with our happenings? Yes. So who can tell me what is a contextualization for this time period? What is happening for the first time on a big scale that is forcing technology to grow? Katie? Trade. Doesn't that make logical sense that we would acknowledge trade? During the time period of 600 BCE to 600 CE, technology is growing and expanding quickly in order to help facilitate new trans-regional trade that has just begun in places like, where are two places that trade has now begun between different places? It's happened in two different places. Come on. They're two different things. Where is trade now happening because of inventions, people? Oh, God. Brian. China? Why? What's happening there? What trade routes there? Silk Road, places like the Silk Road. And where else is trade happening? Where?
Royal Road.
No. Royal Road, I mean, that's Mediterranean Basin. We're going to use this as evidence later, so we'd shoot ourselves in the foot. That's not going to happen. Maggie? What basin? We've got, like, well, that's not a great answer because that's what we're going to use. Guys, where at? What's another basin that we're not specifically talking about in this essay? What do you got for me, Tess? In the Indian Ocean basin. And what piece of technology is facilitating that, Tess? Monsoon winds. Yeah, do you remember that? So, what we've done is we've put in a frame of context that trade is occurring, which is pushing people to invent new technology to facilitate trade. Doesn't that make a lot of logical sense? Does it show that we know what's happening? Does it show we understand why these things are happening? That's contextualization. So now we're into paragraph 1. I have to restate the prompt. During the period of 600 BCE to 600 CE, China uses both scientific and technical contributions like the invention of bronze to gain power in their region. There you go. So during the period of 600 BCE to 600 CE, China uses both science and technical contributions like the invention of bronze to gain power in their region. All I've done is restated the prompt and told them what I was going to be talking about in this paragraph. Is everyone clear on what happened here? So now I have to explain the thesis answer. My thesis answer is, why is bronze the correct answer, right? So, bronze was invented by the Shang. Bronze was invented by the Shang and implemented into its military to make it the world's first military power. Okay, so I've just explained why it's important. The Shang military conquered large territories and thrived economically because it eradicated any exterior threats. Okay, so I've just explained. Now I have to provide 2 pieces of evidence. Okay, so bronze was a state secret of the Shang, which limited the amount of people who knew how to make it. How to make it so their weapon would be only used by them. Would be only used by them. Not my favorite. Used by them, giving them the advantage. Okay, so my second piece of information. After the Shang collapse, the Zhao rise, learn how to create bronze, and spread this metal around the world, around Eurasia, via trade. There you go. All right, so we restate the prompt. We specify specify thesis answer. We answered. Perfect. We explain the thesis answer, and then we provide 2 pieces of evidence. Okay, so we're going to skip a space, and now we're going to start content paragraph 2. So what's the first thing I have to do, people? Restate the prompt during the period. Of 600 BCE to 600 CE, the Mediterranean Sea Basin used both science and technology with the creation of roads to advance their society. Okay, so we have started, we've restated the prompt, and we specify what we're going to be talking about. And what are we talking about in this paragraph? Roads. Okay, so now we have to explain the thesis answer. The Achaemenid Empire, the Persian Achaemenid Empire built the first roadway on the Anatolian Peninsula in order to facilitate faster trade and allow their military to move faster when necessary. Okay, so I've just explained why roads are important. Okay, now I have to provide two pieces of evidence. The first, roadway. Was called the Royal Road, and it connected two major trading cities in Persia. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I know it connects the two largest trading cities in Persia. I truly, at this moment, cannot recall what the name of those two cities are. So, am I going to get points for knowing their names? No. The fact that I know it connects two major trading cities is just going to solidify I understand if it's important. Does that make sense? But I've only gotten one piece. Now, if I could list the cities, would I get extra points? Yes, but I can't, so I'm only getting 1 point instead of the possibility of 2 points. Do you see? But I want to make sure they know it's connecting two major trading cities, so I'm including that information even though I'm not getting the point. Okay? The Royal Road. Road was also implemented to facilitate faster government, business, by the creation of a courier system. This system moved documents and people quickly to facilitate government needs. There you go. Paragraph 2, done. Alright, all you have to do is write 3. I would start with your brainstorming here, people. Why don't you spend the last couple minutes brainstorming? Because you people are not that helpful. So, I'd spend the last bit brainstorming. Do you see a big difference between LEQ and SAQ?
Yeah.
Yup. So, brainstorm. Go. Sit there quietly and do it yourself. Get as much done as you can. Tonight, everyone understands you're writing your third paragraph to your essay, right? You had a thesis and you have 3 content paragraphs. What? If you have a safe on your desk, you just leave it in the front as you leave. Tonight is your last night of essays, though. I don't know if that makes you really happy or just unhappy. So, tonight's your last night. For a while, not like forever. Friendly reminder. Cade, Daniel, Claire, Lily, Segan, Ashlyn, Reagan, Joey, Emily, Slob, Emma. You need to get this done today. Go see Miss Mosley during your lunch or whenever you have a second. It needs to be done today. takes